Tori checking in at LoJ Fit Club. Today's Monday motivation is about rising above your current circumstances. Okay, so I'm gonna give you three things to help you understand. First, understand your circumstances, and then be able to rise above them. Before we dive straight into that, the first thing I want to say is that yes, listen, doing this is harder, a lot harder than just this conversation of how I'm bringing it to you and in the format that I'm bringing it to you. You know what they say, it's a lot easier said than done. Yes, that is the truth. But let me tell you something. Here's what the other side of that. Yes, it's hard to do, but it's even harder not to do because you keep postponing it until it just fester inside of you to the point where you burst and then something dramatic happens and then people are like, oh my God, what happened? But you've been holding inside. So both sides are hard. It's just the kind of hard that you choose, that you're going to, choose to deal with. What hard are you going to choose to deal with? The hard that's going to be, you're going to be satisfied at the end, or the hard that's going to be where you regret and have a lot of misfortune and then you don't even feel right existing. Okay? You have to choose. Okay? Just to give you just a kind of update around our clients and things like that, something that I want to share with you is one of my clients had a lot of trouble starting off. Like, I did not know, the extent of food addiction and things like that. This is what inspired this message today, but I didn't really understand the extent of food addiction and how people could be actually addicted to food. And, I was having trouble with one of my clients, for her first couple of weeks. I mean, to the point where I literally was like, I just don't think she's going to make it. I don't think she's going to make it through. She got a lot of potential, good potential. I just don't think she's going to make it through because it was hard. Then, her job sent her on some trips where she was, out of town. So then now, the familiarity of, just the kind of routine that she has at home that she had built up, now that's all through the roof. And so it just got harder and harder and harder. But then she started making some progression, like she canceled one of her trips, one of her vacations. She was just like, I just can't do it if I'm trying to do, this, because I know I'm going to mess up. So I'm like, okay. Well, let's just say that she decided to do a 3-day at home, just kind of remove herself from the world. Nobody can text, call, and she went juice. She juiced for 3 days. And she was expecting to have some kind of big emotional, breakdown, doing this because she knew that was going to be hard for her. Well, she went through that 3 days and she said, Tori, I was expecting this to be hard, but she was just like, this is crazy. Like, I feel energized like I've never felt before, and I feel so good. Like, if I wanted to go way more days than this, I could do it. And she was like, that's just kind of weird. And what we figured out is that about a week and a half ago or so, she actually broke through. So she already broke through and rose above that circumstance, her current circumstance, to where now, like, she's not even craving other food anymore. She's good, and she's like, I know that I could keep going without no problem. So that's an example of what I mean by rising above the circumstances. But if she would have never reached out to us and started this, then it would have been hard because she would have just kept feeling bad and feeling angry every time she made a mistake. Or, reaching out to us, and now she's fighting these things. They're both hard, but which hard are you going to choose? One is more rewarding and one is not. All right, the three things to take from this to be able to rise from your circumstance. Number one is take a honest assessment with where you currently are. Okay? Don't try to sugarcoat anything. Take an honest assessment to where you really are, whether it's finances. You got to look at your finances and dissect it. No matter how hard it is to do so, look at your finances, dissect it, so you can determine where you are, because you can't know where you're going if you don't know where you are first. Okay? Number two, put your situation into proper perspective. Put your situation into the proper perspective. What do I mean? Just because something may be feeling uncomfortable or does not feel good does not mean, oh my God, it's the end of the world and what you're going through is the hardest thing and nobody has ever being, had to go through this. And a lot of times that's what we tell ourselves, and that's the kind of story that we picture, that we paint. But it's not necessarily the truth in most cases. So what you have to do sometimes is sit back and start studying people all over the world and some of the things that people are faced with, like not having something to eat tomorrow, or not knowing where they're gonna rest their head, or no family, or betrayal, or living on the street. I mean, it's all kind of stuff that people are going through every single day, and I know that you're not going through those things if you're looking at this. And what I mean by that, not saying that you don't have challenges or harder challenges, but if you're able to look at this, that means A, you have access to internet somewhere. B, you got access to a device that can get on the internet, which then lets me know that, guess what? With just a little tool that you have, you could use that financially or even health-wise to learn the information that you need to rise above that circumstances. Rise above that circumstance. But the thing is there's people on this earth that don't even have access to none of this stuff that we're talking about here. So put your situation into proper perspective and stop feeling sorry for yourself so that you can fight through whatever it is that you got to fight through. The third thing is learn to work smarter, not just necessarily harder. Okay? Learn to work smarter, not necessarily just harder. Okay? And what I mean by that is, yes, you're going to work hard. You need to work hard. But in you working hard, you got to work smarter, as well. What do I mean? How do you work smarter? Well, for example, if you want to achieve this, and this, and this, and this, instead of just going and doing all this, and this individually, what you need to do is to see if there's one common thing that you could do, one or two common things that you could do that would knock out two or three of them at a time. What'll happen then is you'll save time, which will save energy, which then you can apply it to more different situations so that you can get out of your situation faster. Okay? I hope that makes sense. So rise above your current circumstances by first, number one, take on an honest assessment with where you are. Number two, put your situation into proper perspective. And number three, learn to work smarter, not necessarily just harder. Okay? So, at any, if you need us for anything, reach out to us. We can help you on your health journey. Myself, if I can help you on your entrepreneurship journey, reach out to me and we will, definitely find a way to help you in some kind of way. All right. So, LOJ Fit Club checking off, Tori, and we will see you next time.